Here's the problem with us versus them mentality. You've got the Kremlin and Putin who have committed Russian troops in Ukraine in this obscene war. Some of those troops have rebelled, and now, after the rebellion was quashed, Putin, it is being reported in the press, is mobilizing the National Guard. We'll call them the National Guard for the sake of the American audience here, right? They're basically the equivalent of the American National Guard. Now, this makes sense, right? He wants to have loyal soldiers at home who can defend him should the army, given the fact that they're starving and dying of cholera and out of ammunition and being slaughtered at a ratio of 10-1 at the front line, should they decide that the real enemy is in Moscow and point their guns that way and march off the battlefield, just like they did in 1917 when the last Tsar sent them all to die for no good reason, he wants to have a private army to defend himself and the Kremlin, right? Okay, that all makes sense. And that's what's being reported in the media. But here's something that I think folks are missing. He's requested that departments within the Russian equivalent of the DEA be transferred to the authority of this National Guard. Now, wait a minute. What are the specialities of somebody like the DEA? Well, undercover work, right? And breaking down doors and taking houses and dragging people out of houses in the middle of the night. Now, let me ask you, if you were an autocratic dictator who couldn't take any kind of criticism at all from anybody, and you were building yourself a private army, what use do you think you would put those people with those skill sets to? Putin is about to make the last mistake that every dictator makes. He's about to go to war against his own people. He's got an old-style Stalin purge on his mind, and it is the final coffin nail in the Russian Federation. Now, how long it'll take, how many people are going to get disappeared, is anybody's guess. On the micro level, it's impossible to predict these kinds of things. But on the macro level, the end result is inevitable.